There we go. And we're back. All right. So it sounded like Kristen, you went and collected like old land deeds and.
It was all the stuff that the Dominus had been going through when I talked him into giving like the locals some land.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, all that stuff. And I'm just going through it, waiting for my coffee to show up.
Sure. Yeah, like so it's a whole bunch of like legal gobbledygook and signatures and fancy fucking language. You know, like
yeah, well, I'm well suited for that.
Like these things are. And yes, coffee and breakfast are provided. They're brought to you. As if you wanted Aldwin there, like it's
yeah. I'm waiting for him.
Yeah. He's there. Anybody else? Who all is in this scene as far as players? Is it everybody but Matt, or like do you summon him too, or are you letting the priest do his priest thing off in his priest?
Well, does he want to be there?
I can be there.
Yeah, it'd be great if he was there.
Once all the kids have been picked up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and then I can kind of give me an idea what happened with the children and all that because we met in town. Then all went down.
Like, the Dominus went down, and I was like, "Hail Hydra!" And then we went our own ways.
Shit's on fire, yo.
Right. Yeah, I think it's probably like mid-morning by the time that like everything's settled and you guys are all kind of there in the study, with Yezi and her stack of paperwork.
Yeah, like first things first. Any of you motherfuckers get loud enough to wake up those kids over there? I will find a way to end you. So, what happened?
My brother is no longer in power. I have removed him from that position.
Have you removed him permanently?
He has fled.
Oh.
Do you think we could find him? I need some of his blood.
What?
What?
I'm gonna pretend I didn't do that. I kind of shoot her a weird look.
He's harmless now.
Don't worry about it. It doesn't concern you.
Yeah, just like a pint would be fine.
Can we do that? Can we just be like, look at, I spilled his blood. Oh, vengeance.
Wait, maybe.
He won't be happy with it, but he's like, shit, that's what I said. Well, I'm a spirit. Okay, fuck.
Yeah, it's like the Fae. You just gotta trap him.
Oh, well, I guess I should have been more specific.
That's right.
Oh, sucks.
My heart belongs to you, literally. Can I take it now? Yeah.
I believe I think the best course of action is for you to try to pair what my brother has torn apart.
You do understand what that means, right?
I don't know how to answer that.
That's a no. And I there's all the papers there, and I was like, this is my people's land that they've had for generations.
I believe you would see a more fair and diplomatic solution to the current problems that my brother had. I would love for you to work closely with Father Colin and the lady whose name I can't remember.
Diana!
Lady Tuesday.
The other one.
And that weird one over there who wants blood.
Who wants a pint of blood? because the fact of the matter is, the Imperials are here. They are not going to leave without a major conflict
Or bloodshed.
or what. Well, that usually comes with conflict.
Well, just so you know, I wouldn't starve anybody. That's
I
not
know.
what I'm getting at. But when I remove them to the lands that we don't have families on at this point, and give my people back their land, where do your forces stand? Do I do everything up until it makes you uncomfortable, or are you actually putting me in charge?
My only concern is the stability of the area. My only concern is that everybody be treated with respect and that more people like my brother don't come to take advantage of the Imperial population and your people. I am not one for politics. All I know is my brother was doing inexcusable and could not continue.
So long as I have your strength backing my decisions, I think we can make this work.
And unless you become like my brother or incite conflict, I don't believe there will be any problem.
All right.
Have my axe.
What?
You have my axe. Matt's
Your
bow.
axe
your
is
axe?
so barbaric.
Matt's bow.
All right.
Fianna's blood.
Fanta's
Gianna's pint
bucket
of
of
blood.
blood and
Bucket of blood. Just a big old rusty bucket full of blood.
that's right.
Father Colin, Fianna, do you have anything to add?
As you know, that as long as the burrows aren't disturbed, I'm happy. And if
Yeah,
we
of
could
course.
rebuild them, that would be even better. But the alive people need to come first right now.
The alive people.
You're not yet dead.
Not dead people.
And feeding people needs to be a priority as well. I did you mention to us that you were planning on moving the barrows?
I would be okay with moving the barrows somewhere that if there's usable farmland that they are on, we could. I think the ancestors would be convinced that we could move them, so people would have food to eat. But there's a process behind that.
Well, then we could move them. Unfortunately, because there was a war, some families were lost. We can find land that is no longer owned by a Varda farming family or a family not capable of fully farming it for the Imperials to go to. We may have to also shrink up everyone's plots just a little bit to kind of squeeze people in. But as long as everyone on all sides is getting, the same treatment, we're all one community here.
All right. It sounds like we're in agreement. We lost Nicole.
Oh.
Except for Fianna, who vanished.
The magical disappearing sorceress.
She left her bucket though.
It's just a bucket of blood sitting there. For no real reason.
Great movie. Yeah, so unless there's anything else, if you could so I could get some sleep.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're dismissed. I thought. Go to bed.
So that was really about kind of everybody, like making sure that you had everybody's backing, right?
Yeah. Yeah. As soon as they leave, though, I want to write a letter.
Okay. Who are you writing to, and what are you writing to them about?
My home country.
Ah.
Yeah. Requesting nutritional aid, basically.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Calling for okay.
Yeah, and I want it to be worded very nicely. It's very nice. It's a very proper letter. And it's basically like, look, I understand that my marriage was a matter of convenience, like in political positioning. And that's fine. I can respect that. However, now that we're starving, like, you owe me. I did my job. You show your support.
Nice. Okay.
But very politely.
Of
Very
course.
politely.
Of course. That why would you
But I'm not
Give me potatoes, bitch, now!
potatoes.
Boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew.
Yeah. I mean, this is you're writing a letter. I think ultimately though your intent is about getting people with means to give you aid.
Yes.
Which means I think this is etiquette. But you like forking composition is absolutely appropriate.
Okay. So etiquette with the composition for where's my composition? No, I have it. There it is.
You were nobility. Are you writing back to family?
Yeah,
Like
basically that whole
Cool.
line.
Cool. What's so I know you're born noble. That must mean you have mark of privilege.
Yes.
Do you also have one of the traits that give you a title, your lordship, or
No, but I do have an affiliation with the noble family.
okay.
I don't think I took a title.
Okay. Nope, that's fine. I just didn't know if like kind of where your family stood. What's your affiliation at?
1D.
1D? I think this is an Ob 2 etiquette test.
Okay.
I think that sounds fair.
Yeah, so etiquette, composition, and then I was thinking of persuasion.
Sure.
That should be good.
As you do some persuasive writing, I think if you fail, they're going to agree. If you succeed, they're just going to agree, right? They'll send some people.
Just a wagon train of stuff.
Yeah. If you fail, I think they're going to do it, but there will absolutely be strings attached. Technically, this region was lost to your people in the previous war, so this was territory that once belonged to the Confederacy, the Tibesian Confederacy, and then was taken by by the Imperium.
I thought it was kind of a no man's land, and that was the problem. Both laid claim.
Yeah, it was. It's one of those things where, like, when they kind of redraw the maps, like, this isn't a place that either group really paid that much attention to. Mostly
They just kind of assumed it was theirs.
Well, it's one of those things
sides.
where, like, it's technically ours, but the people there are really hard to deal with. And
it's probably not worth that much to
Right.
battle to hold.
Right. But when they took it over, like when the Imperium took it over, you know, it was like, nobody gives a shit. I can claim this and get some legitimacy. That was the brother. And now that he's gone and you're in charge, the Tibesian Confederacy can be like, well, we don't care that much about it, but land is land. And we've
That means
already
it's
got
ours now.
and we've already got, you know, somebody kind of in a good political place to lay good claim to it, even though the maps say technically we lost that. But that's assuming that you fail.
Which is almost more interesting than succeeding.
Isn't it usually, though?
Yeah. All right. So if I have a 5 in persuasion, does that add 2 or only if I'm helping?
Only if you're helping. With forks, I think you need a 7 to give it to add 2.
So I put in 2 for the modifiers for composition and persuasion, right?
Yes.
Okay. Arda, none. Base obstacle, you said it's 2?
It's 2. It's an ob2 test.
Okay. I hope you guys can see that because I can't see anything.
Wow.
Yep, you got it. You got it exactly. 2 successes.
That's it? Just 2?
Yep.
Yeah.
You got a 4 and a 5
Oh, well.
with all those dice.
Yep. So that's my very pleasant. I'm here. Fucking feed me.
Nice. Yeah. It's obviously it's going to take time for word to travel back and for food to arrive, but
Fire off an email.
but it eventually, yeah, right. I'll just
Ring him up.
I'll send my dad a text.
FaceTime him.
Right.
Hi, Daddy. Yeah, it's still awful here, and now we're hungry.
Have your credit card.
They killed my husband again.
Again.
And
Why does this keep happening? We keep getting you husbands, and you keep getting them killed. We're not going to get you any more husbands anymore.
But, Dad. Yeah, so I don't tell anyone, but I get someone to dispatch it, like, immediately. Get it on its way.
hi.
Cool. Are there any more loose ends that we need to tie up
Yeah, I'd love to call in the Forest Rebels for a sit down.
at this point? Sure.
So
I mean, we don't have to handle that right now, but
We may as well, because, like, I feel like this is kind of the, like, all of the important stuff happened last time. This is the denouement before we can kind of resort out the situation.
After that, I wanted to talk to or get Fiona's opinion on the giant wolf.
oh yeah, and are we just gonna leave Gwenham in his hut forever?
He's not there
Lock him
anymore.
in?
until next season.
Until next season.
We'll just have to figure out what happens to him later, eh?
Yeah. I think
Cool.
when people come to find him, he's not there. Like, I think he's crawled off into some hole. Every scheme,
I need to get the door open.
every sheer goddamn willpower
With his teeth.
Oh,
with his teeth. Maybe the evidence shows that he climbed out his own window. Yeah. I think why don't we handle there was the rebels. I kind of want to see the scene with with Aldwin and Fëanor and the big ass wolf.
Mm-hmm.
So as we leave the room, as we've been dismissed, I'll be like, Fëanor, I need you to come with me and get your opinion on something.
Okay.
So I lead her to the courtyard where we have the giant wolf body.
Nice.
Be like, you know anything about this?
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna be staring at the wolf like.
Yeah, and it's like there's wolves like in the area, but this thing is freaking enormous, right? Like it's at the shoulder. It's almost as tall as a person. You can tell that even with it laying down.
It would be taller than me.
If you're particularly short, then maybe. Like if Aldwin and the wolf were both standing, it would probably come up to like just below his shoulder. Like this thing is massive.
I can't say I know a lot about giant wolves, but I could definitely ask around.
Is that my headset?
What's doing that? What's happening?
You move. I think you're touching the computer and it's making it go crazy.
I didn't know if that was my headset or your microphone or what. Sorry.
If you have a blanket with a lot of static electricity too, or a cat walking over one, it'll.
What if? Oh,
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
that will occasionally happen. Yeah, like, and I think Fëanor as a local, as somebody who's lived here all your life,
like I know, but I've probably never studied them up close.
no, this is nobody has like this is not something you've seen before.
Oh, good.
This is one of those things like, holy shit, somebody caught the mutant fish with 3 eyes. Only instead of the mutant fish with 3 eyes, this is the giant man-sized wolf that tried to eat some soldiers and almost succeeded.
Totally weird that one of them put an arrow through your dude.
Right?
So strange. Who knew wolves had bows and arrows?
I know, right?
crazy.
They're so advanced. Learning.
Hold on, I'm
I didn't know if this was the ancestors doing something else.
Maybe a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. We don't really know yet. I could definitely
And
do
you
some.
find out.
Yes.
I'll ask. Oh, I leave it to you. And I walk off. And I look at one of my guards and I say, give her anything she needs.
Good luck with that giant scary monster. Have fun.
Hey, I did my part. I killed the damn thing.
You did kill it. What are you gonna do with this thing, Fëanor? Like, I guess as far as the soldiers, like, did they just lay it out somewhere? Did they leave it like strung up on the pole when you brought it in?
Imagine they laid it on the ground.
Yeah, so it's just laying there like a big old wolf corpse.
You can have them move it anywhere you need to.
Cool.
I pretty much kind of gave you leeway over having them help you.
Not at all creepy. Just gifting her a
Giant wolf.
wolf.
I
What am I
imagine
gonna
that
do
I
with it?
might call on an ancestor to be like, well, what are you doing? What's this? Did you do this?
This is
WTF?
I mean, is that what you do? Or like,
Are there?
I guess my question is, what is it you want
Well,
to know
and
about it, and how do you find that out, or do you just decide that like to nope out of it, like giant wolves? This is not my bag. Nope.
Well, I imagine I'm like, whoa. This might be. Maybe they could be friends, not food. I don't know.
Also,
Maybe if it's
Nicole,
an
you-
ancestor, maybe you need to put it, to a respected rest,
Yeah.
peace, with the giant spiders and all that nice stuff.
Yeah.
also Nicole, you can use your sorcery at +1 ob for arcane knowledge with your ancestor magic. Just so you remember, you have that.
I did not. Thank you.
Yep, you have that.
Basically, instead of summoning it all up with a long summoning, you're like a quick, hey, any ancestor nearby, and then like, I'll make and just replace giant wolf flies with arcane knowledge and be like, all right, information dump or something. So.
Well, and I'm curious if there's anything in the folklore dating back, like all the what's the word I'm looking for? All like the stories that have passed down. If there's anything that's been mentioned, I could do the arcane knowledge.
Yeah, you have some options. Like I think there's probably a library here at the keep. Maybe not huge, not like some sprawling library, but at least local stuff. If you wanted to research, like there's any number of ways of gaining knowledge. The question is, what do you want to know, and how do you go about finding that?
What do I want to know?
That's the problem. We don't know what we want to know.
Yeah, exactly.
Can we communicate with them? Is it something that we are being cursed with? Is it from like a pissed off ancestor that set giant wolves to come eat us?
You can see if there's a spirit still tied to the body.
I totally could.
I think it's pretty clear, like even without any kind of even like special knowledge, like this was definitely an animal, right? Like it's huge, but like just lying here, it's out of the ordinary, but it doesn't look like it's some kind of construct or like it didn't disappear once it was killed. It bled like anything else. That's no guarantee that it's mundane, but it certainly doesn't. I don't know how to.
It's not fabricated.
Yeah,
It wasn't summoned or conjured.
yeah. It doesn't seem like it. It definitely seems like this is an animal, just an extraordinary one that you definitely haven't seen, and one that is clearly dangerous because people have been talking about monsters in the woods for a while.
Well, now I want to know, are there more of them? And what are their motives?
Okay.
Unless you guys can think of something better.
No, those are good questions.
That's something to get us started on what we needed more of. So yeah.
So that's probably going to be ancestor magic instead of me reading some books.
Okay.
Who sent you?
I'm shaking his giant shoulders.
Where are the drugs?
Let me get to the.
Pick up the dead wolf, start slapping it around. Talk!
We don't want blood magic.
I mean,
Sure.
We
somebody was
certainly
looking for a bucket of blood.
Don't
Maybe for
want
blood magic.
blood magic. Blood magic is frightening. We're looking at arcane knowledge.
Yeah.
Which is the sorceress use art for the art magic.
Yes. Let's see. Arcane knowledge. The sorcerer may plumb the wells of magic in his search for knowledge. To use the arcane knowledge effect, test sorcery. In this case, sorcery counts as a proxy for any academic skill in the skill list. The obstacle for the effect is the same as the skill test obstacle for the academic skill, plus breadth and duration. So as far as breadth, you're only really asking for yourself, yes?
Well, I'm going to share the knowledge.
Well, right, but you're not magically providing this knowledge for
everyone else.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Basically, do you want the magical knowledge to just come into your head or everyone's head?
Just my head.
Yeah.
Just my brain. It can just call me.
You want to open up a three-way call?
No, I'm good.
Maybe we shouldn't notify the regular people about the giant wolves.
They already know about the giant wolves.
They hear this giant dong. These are giant wolves.
Congratulations.
You have subscribed to Wolf Facts.
I just like how you started that sentence with "they hear a giant dong," and that's all that made me happy right there. So,
of course.
Stop being naughty.
Hashtag Baltics.
All right. So it says academic skills.
No.
Which tells me
the bones tell me nothing.
bones tell me. There really isn't anything that's like, I don't know, animal knowledge, animal lore.
Is that just my headset?
No, it's
I
mine
hear-
too, but I don't know what it is. I
I
don't think I'm doing anything
Who
differently.
doesn't hear it?
don't.
I
hear-
think everyone hears it. I wonder if someone's got a bad cord in. Who's
How's it
wearing a
cord?
headset mic combination? Shaun, where's your mic?
Yeah,
my mic
move your...
is right here. Like it's not.
Okay, it's not. It might be your cord then, Dustin. Wiggle your cord about. Let's see. No,
No.
headset?
no.
Nicole,
Does some
Yeah.
does somebody have a cell phone sitting on their camera or something, or on their computer?
Mine's way over here.
Does sound like what a cell phone interference sometimes comes through microphones.
I'll move my cell phone farther away.
Yep. I just did the same thing, just for the.
It's amazing how we started talking about it and it completely ceased.
like
It knows, man.
Clearly a ghost. It's the
Uh,
only explanation.
I'm gonna say that this is gonna count as a wise test.
Okay.
We're going to call it Ob 5.
Come on.
This is pretty rare freaking knowledge.
Wait, is the ob based off the knowledge, or is the
Yes.
ob based off?
It's
Okay.
It's based on whatever skill you are using arcane knowledge to replace.
So was that ob include the -1 ob I'm already at, or is it ob 6?
Oh, so yeah, it would be Ob 6. But it is a magical
Oh.
skill, so it's automatically open-ended.
Why are you -1?
Because it's not her main focus of her school. It's just outside it,
Yeah.
and then each one past that it goes plus
There's
one.
more.
So
Can I fork in
Ritual.
some folklore, because I've heard of the big wolves, the big bad wolves, and the big bad monsters.
Sure. I think you can.
No,
In
don't
this
rub
case.
against the mouse.
Trying to think of what else I could toss in there for fun.
What about ritual? Maybe perform a ritual to knowledge you need.
Not really, because ritual concerns like religious rites, like specific
Gotcha.
things that you do as a religious official.
You're technically calling upon the ancestors in a quick and dirty way with this. Would ancestor wise help?
Yes,
Or summoning?
probably
Maybe not
ancestor
summoning.
wise more than summoning.
Okay. So there's dose modifiers. And I only have one persona left, and I don't want to spend it just because I'm scared I
Will to
might
live.
die. I don't want to die. But at least I don't have to spend any fate this time.
It's not that likely that you're gonna die. Hold on, let me find the failures for magic.
My cat has managed to put an entire Powerade bottle in his mouth.
Well done.
That's quite impressive, actually.
The bottle or the bottle cap?
No, the bottle. Around the side of
Ow!
it. He clamped
Oh.
around the side of it, and he started
Okay, the
carrying
side.
it.
I was like, what's happening with this cat's face right now?
He unhinged his jaw and started swallowing it. Hey, dummy.
It's glitching and stretching the graphic. So yeah, well, he's looking that up, Dustin. So her ancestor school of magic, she has no ob penalties to hurl magical attacks, to turn people into animals or herself, or to give someone an advantage with magic. But then, like, using her arcane knowledge, she's a +1 ob. If she wants to use an arcane action, like, basically like the Force, like pull something to her with magic, it's +2 ob. To do some kind of spontaneous magical effect that's not any of those +3 ob, she can give herself a trait, but +4 ob, and then it keeps going down.
Yep.
At the very end, she could summon a weapon out of thin air, but that's +7 ob. So she knows when she needs a challenging test what she can do. But
That's right.
she's like,
Yeah. Cool. So yeah, you're looking at 6
Okay.
altogether with that ob penalty. If you fail, then magic things will happen.
Just magic things. We're going to keep it
Magic.
vague.
spin the wheel!
Nice.
Uh,
Nice. All right.
Oh yeah, this is a sorcery test. Wheel!
Yeah, except that the wheel of magic doesn't quite work with with
Art
art
magic.
because of the way that the system is constructed. I have a whole lot more leeway about the evil things that I can do.
Yay.
There's a 6 if you want to fade it. Oh no, it already was. It already was because it's auto open ended.
Yep, you got 3.
But a fate,
a
you
fate
can
can
spend a fate to reroll one of the failed dice.
Yep,
Well, let's do that. Just one of them?
just one.
Yeah,
That's just mean.
unless you have any traits that could help.
I don't know where any traits.
Any call-on traits to reroll failures?
For sorcery, I don't think there are any call-ons for sorcery. Are there?
Not really. Alright, let's spend a fate.
Oh.
Fail.
She do it again?
So
How many fate can I spend right now? All of them?
One.
no, just one. Just one. So
Glad I kept that will to live.
well, you at least, I mean, the plus side is that sorcery you get to log tests whether you succeed or fail. So you do get that difficult sorcery test.
That's the plus side.
That's the plus side.
Congratulations, that's the good news.
It's not the only good news. I'm going to give you some of the information that you asked for.
And then you're gonna have to see.
So in the process of casting the spell, at some point, you've put your hand on the corpse of the wolf, and as you do, the your vision flashes from the present where you are to somewhere else. Your senses have been magically transported to the forest, and you see several others of these creatures. Where they are is unfamiliar to you. You see about half a dozen of them, 6 more. The one that you have your hand on at the back in the town is a big like gray and brown wolf. There's a big black one and a big gray sort of timber wolf that are just by the way that they're interacting, and you can't understand them because they're clearly communicating. Yeah, you don't speak wolf. But right. Yeah, but you get the sense that these two are definitely the ones in charge. And then your vision starts moving around, and you realize for a moment that somehow you have made a connection to be looking through the eyes of another one of these creatures.
But not the currently dead one.
No, not the currently dead one. There's some connection there.
Wait, I see me.
Yeah. And then the shaggy gray Timberwolf looking one stares at you for a second, your head turns and it moves around to keep you in its vision, and then its eyes narrow, and then it leaps on them. It leaps, and you're kind of experiencing it as this thing has obviously realized that something weird is going on with one of its packmates. And it, as it you know how dogs do when they fight, just fucking surprise attacks you, rolls you on your back, and puts its you feel its fangs in your throat. At which point, you get a brief flash of carved pillars, and tile work around you, but only briefly, because about the time that the fangs clamp onto your throat, that's when it jerks you get sort of jerked back to reality, with that panicked sensation of something leaping on your neck and trying to choke you.
I'm going to stop touching this wolf and scramble back, on all fours, whatever I need to do to get away from this thing.
Yeah. But you do know that there's at least 6 others.
Yeah.
At first I thought you were going to be like, oh yeah, the gray and brown one you have here is actually a runt.
That's the little one.
I mean, the ones that were in charge were bigger.
Well, obviously the alphas would be.
Yeah. You don't know what their motivations are. And wherever they are clearly looks man-made but abandoned.
They seem intelligent.
Well, they were communicating somehow.
Lots of
and
animals.
one figured out that I was riding shotgun.
What?
Yeah. So that's what you find out.
Oh, okay. I don't know if I want to make one of the soldiers take it back to my bone hut, because I don't know if I want this wolf in my bone hut. I'll tell the soldiers to take it somewhere more private.
Okay.
And then I'll come study it further later. And then I'll make my way to my friend Aldwin here.
And relay all
Give
of
me
that
the
bullshit.
good news.
Yes, there's more of them. That one was not the biggest one. And
Where?
somewhere man-made but abandoned. There were some pillars and some tile, and that's all I got. They seem intelligent because they figured out I might have been looking through another wolf's eyes.
Kind of squint, just kind of rub my head a little bit like I have no idea what the hell she's talking about. But the fact that there's 6 more is rustling my jimmies.
Rustling your jimmies. No, I think that's perfectly appropriate. Was there anything else that we needed to clear up?
She needed to they
The
needed
forest
to
rebels.
Ah, yes. Yeah, I mean, you have a relationship with the rebel
Yeah.
leader.
I'm guessing it takes them a couple days to get in. You know. And I've just like set up camp in like that, command room or whatever.
Okay.
Of my dead husband that the Dominus had taken over.
get it.
And
He's dead. You don't have to keep reminding us.
And like I just been in there for days. There's abandoned trays of food, and the kids have nested in like the couch corner.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and so once I get word that like Mako's coming, like I have Aldwin come in as well.
Okay.
Oh, Mako's your contact.
Yeah.
Yeah, the pretty guy, the guy that escaped having to fight because he looked enough like a girl that he
Sometimes he was.
he got away with.
The trap. Gotcha.
Sure. He's like, he probably wouldn't have come if it hadn't been the fact that you were the one that asked him. Although he does have informants in town, so he knew that like the Dominus had fled.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so when he finally arrives, and the two of you are there, he after brief formalities, he's like, before you ask, I did hear some of what was going on, and I did have some of my people combing the woods, looking for the usurper, but we haven't found him yet.
Well, when you do, if you find him before we do, is Aldwin there yet?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm just.
Is it just you two in there?
I'm just listening.
Yeah, sure. I don't give a shit what Aldwin knows. Yeah, I straight up tell him, I'm like, my son's spirit won't go to rest until I'm going to spill some of his blood. So don't like straight up murder the dude.
Keep him mostly alive.
Keep him mostly alive. Yeah, he kind of grimaces when you tell him that, and he's like, Lady B. Orson, I have nothing but respect for you. But there's a good chance that you're going to have to fight for a place in line. I know your son and husband were killed, but there were a lot of fathers and brothers that were killed.
And we've done our best to lay them all to rest. It's only fair my family get the same chance.
This is true. We did have many of our people put to rest. Unfortunately, the speaker that had been helping us, we have seemed to have lost track of as well.
Oh no! Oh no! Can we help you in some way?
What was his
So
name again?
we
He
could
was
give you a hand.
Yes, Gwynam.
Gwynam.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm genuinely surprised by that. Like, what happened to Gwynam?
He says I don't know. He had been making regular forays to our camp, providing what comforts he could as a speaker, and
There was a moment of, has he? I had no idea. Assholes.
but he stopped some days ago. We hadn't seen him.
Strange, but that's about the same time that I made peace with the person whose name I'm coming back to in the sheet.
Gisela.
Yeah. Yeah, perhaps,
He said
perhaps they're stepping back a bit.
well, I mean, no offense, and I didn't mean to keep you out of the loop, my lady, but things were secrecy was important. I knew.
Fine, it doesn't matter now. If you have needs in the meantime, my speaker would be more than happy to assist you in any way that you need. You can call on Fayana anytime.
Ooh, Fayana got promoted.
I was already at this position. I've just
She
been
just got
reinstated.
It's that whole more work with no pay raise thing.
Yeah, figured.
He said he said we may need that. We've had several injuries.
Is it the things in the wood again?
Yes, one of the reasons that I suspect we haven't found the coward, and he looks directly at Aldwin, that used to sit in your husband's seat, is because, frankly, my men are afraid of that. With any luck, the usurper will have found his end by one of these. But in the meantime, it's been difficult convincing people to go combing the forest looking for him.
That's actually that's one of the reasons I called you here. One of them being, of course, that we're going to be rearranging things here in town. So if your people wish to come back, we will make space for them. I know that you left because things were difficult and sustained yourself far out in the woods, but should you or anyone in your party choose to come back, to do so.
I appreciate that, Lady Bjorsen. It's the nights get cold in the woods when there are no walls to protect you from the wind.
Well, we always build big fires and have space for them. The other reason, however, is things in the wood. Been rumored for a long time, and I know the night that I was out there, I saw the consequences of one of the attacks. However, Aldwin here, it's knowledge that you killed one of these things, right?
I think by now.
I would like to think it's some sort of a reputation. Yeah.
Yeah. You
Yeah, they
did
kinda
keep it
paraded
quiet
through
in the
town on
town.
the way to
I was starting a revolution, okay? I didn't have time for your horsing antics. But yeah, the captain of the guard here actually killed one of those on his own. And I know that you are familiar with where they've attacked. And Captain, you have the resources at your disposal, hunters, trackers, and the like. Perhaps you two could ally at least in this matter.
Yeah. When you say that, he like you can see Mako's jaw, like he's like, I think, lady, that my fellows can do what we need to do without any aid.
Is your pride worth the lives of your men?
I kind of fire in there and like, it seems to have gone well for you so far.
Diplomacy going well.
I don't diplomacy. I'm not a diplomater.
He's like, I don't mean to be disrespectful, your ladyship. I just he doesn't know the area. He doesn't know our ways. And he's like looking at how Aldwin's dressed. And he's just like, I think it would be better if you simply let me handle this.
So far, no offense, but it has not been handled. In fact, as far as I know, he's the only one to have killed one of these, despite you living amongst them with forces. Now look, I understand that this isn't a comfortable thing and that there are a lot of bad emotions mixed up here, that we haven't been through an easy time. But look, this is for the safety of Alvarda, and this is for the safety of the Imperials who, whether we like it or not, now live here. And this is about the safety for my family and for your forces out there in the woods. This isn't about whether he's one of us or not. All I'm asking you to do is to help him find these things and wipe them out so that we can sleep safely at night.
And he says, I, of course, understand your concerns. We have simply been concerned with other monsters rather than the ones in the woods.
And I understand that, but I am telling you to use Aldwin and the resources at his disposal to take care of these. It is the first step to getting this area back on track.
Yeah, I think he's gonna come back with, and this is just to set some stakes here. And he's like, I think if you would just lend us the aid of some of our own people, this would go much smoother. Yeah, because I think he'd rather have other Varda behind him.
Yeah, and that's cool, but they killed all our soldiers, so...
He's not that concerned about that. Also, not being rational. He just doesn't like foreigners.
My friend doesn't. Alright.
I think
that's the stakes, basically, is whether or not he takes Aldwin's men or whether he takes other Varda.
Right. I think this is a versus persuasion test. It's just the two of you.
Okay.
I can help.
You can help because you're right there.
All right.
Just kind of looking dead in the eye because I have no like. I don't really have a stake in this. I've killed one, and I'm kind of in that mindset that I can do it with or without his help. But I will look at him and I will say, I am not my brother.
He's got a good point. Look at him. He's completely different. He's got a different hairstyle.
It's not the same person at all.
I'm not as rotund.
I look strapping with a sword.
I'm still. Oh yeah, still in there because you voluntold me for things.
Yeah, voluntold.
Sure.
Yeah, yeah. If you want to help too, that's fine.
No, I'm staying out of it.
Yeah, you're like.
I'm just like looking back and forth.
He's like,
Go play with the kids.
this is
It's fine.
uncomfortable.
No, I'm just like watching, like, oh.
He got 2 successes.
Okay. What the shit?
Oh my god.
Oh, not even any 6s.
This won't
What
work.
the hell? You guys just fucked everything up with your rolls earlier. You were like, I got 1 success, but look at now I have 7 successes. Her.
You guys,
Look, I got 5,000 dice and I have no successes.
none successes.
Hang on. Let me,
Do you have any call-ons?
I do, but only for oratory. And I don't think my die traits really do much here.
Kat, you are so special.
So yeah, he's like, my lady, I mean no offense, and you've got to understand this isn't just me, but my people won't want to work with his people. I wish I could follow every order that you gave, but I cannot.
He says my people, and she is just fucking you, dude. Seriously. Fucking.
What do you mean by is people?
What do you mean? His people?
Like, you have 1 month. If you have not taken care of this problem in that time, I am sending Aldwin and his men out with or without you. Because clearly they can handle these things just fine on their own. I have yet to see the carcass of one in your camp. All I have seen are men bleeding out.
I think you'll see something much different this time.
Is that a threat? Like, is that what he means?
No,
like,
no. It's not a threat.
Okay.
It's a brag.
Yeah.
Like, that's
I was gonna say that
seems
seemed a little threatening, but if it doesn't come off as threatening, I'm not gonna worry about it.
Yeah, no, he's not threatening. It's more like, no, we'll fucking take care of this.
Yeah, she's like, you dismissed. Just go.
We're gonna hunt some wolves instead of hunting some Imperials. And
I'll probably stop him on the way out. And I imagine I've made like a little sketch of like, here's some things over here. Here's some things over here.
There's just no explanation. Just like, I drew you this.
No, I'll be like,
Just hand him the paper and walk away.
I'll be like, I
You'll know what to do with this.
got a vision.
I mean, it's your people, so.
Yeah. There's a lot of weakening involved. I don't know. No, I'll just tell him I had a vision and I saw this along with 5 other wolves. Well, there were 6 total, but one of them's dead now. So 5 wolves. And this, somewhere in the woods, if you've seen it.
He kind of glances down at it, and he says, I'll I'll ask around. I'm not going to question your visions, speaker. Thank you. I'm sure this will be very helpful.
Good luck.
And he walks.
Do you say that in a kind of a slightly passive aggressive way? I mean, you have seen the
No,
wolf.
because
He
she's
has
one
not.
of his people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know.
They're
But
all them
she's
people
seen
together.
what the wolf is and how big it is. They have not. She understands what they're up against. So I mean, if
Oh,
she
I forgot
wants,
I had a dead wolf. I'm gonna totally take him to my dead wolf. Be like, come here.
Let me show you what you're up against. Yeah.
Yeah, come with me. And I
Nice.
won't say anything. Like, nope, just come with me. Like, here's my dead wolf.
Uh,
I'm gonna stuff him.
I
Put him by the
might.
door.
he's gonna be like the dog from Scrubs, only a giant
Oh.
fucking wolf.
Rowdy,
Yep.
Rowdy the wolf.
Rowdy, no.
No, Rowdy, no.
Only much scarier. All right. What was there?
Yeah, once they're gone, I just like ending scene. I turn to Aldwin and I'm like, oh, and also, I'm gonna need you to train me an army.
BT Dubs?
Yeah.
Just drop that on him.
That's a good ending scene. I like that.
Nice.
Does Mako like my dead wolf?
No, he doesn't like it at all.
You can't imagine why.
He looks very worried and concerned.
I see Mako like having this moment where he like makes this regretful look like back to the throne room. Then like his
like for a moment, like
pride,
there's still time. I could still go get the
his
guy with the
pride
armor.
just makes him look away.
Yeah. Like I want to be clear that Mako is probably like 17, 18 years old. Like he's
Yeah.
not. He's
I'm gonna have to put him down like
Very
a bitch.
headstrong, but it has just
He's
been
a
slapped in the
baby.
face with reality.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's a baby.
He's
Just
a
rip his
baby.
shoulder.
I wanted to echo in his ears when Yezi said, "Oh yeah, Aldwin killed one all by himself."
I could kill one of these things.
The guy you
Holy
refused
shit.
help from.
Right. All right. Colin, was there anything? Was there anything that Father Colin wanted to do?
He's good.
Because it's about 10. I think it's a good spot to sort of wrap things up. Distribute some Arta.
And then discuss where to go
I
next.
don't really have any beliefs though.
Yeah, we didn't make for them.
Yeah, I there was if
I mean, the only real thing I wanted to get done was to put Yezi in power, which I accomplished.
which you did effectively, because I don't think like with the soldiers behind you, the Imperials aren't, they're not going to question that.
Yeah, I mean, the actual force in their mind is still under Imperial control.
Right. And the Varda already, like, it would be like, well, she's she was the wife of the Jarl. It's only right that she's in charge. Better her than that fucko that tried.
Oh, is this the
start-
Varda?
Yeah.
Yeah, as soon as possible, I make a cute little crown and make Eric start wearing it.
Nice. No,
Like, no, it's okay. Don't kill me. Like, I'm just waiting for him to be of age. It's fine.
Nice. You are not the queen. You are the queen regent.
Oh, this is
Yes.
really
You're
falling
Cersei
into the Game of
Lannister.
Thrones territory.
We've already had the campaign where Kristen's character banged her brother, so we can dispense with
okay.
that
Yeah,
part.
it's old news. He didn't know, so it's fine.
Yeah, it was really awkward.
Yeah, he didn't
It
know.
was dark.
Did you?
Twice.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, we played it up and played it up and played it up until it hit a point where he was like, we've been like dancing around this the whole game. Like it's come to a point where like we either have to act on this relationship or just kind of drop it. And so we just let the dice decide. And they did.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, they did.
It's fine. There was a dragon involved. I don't know. It got weird.
Still Dragon Dildo? Gotcha.
Cool.
And it was still fun in games, and then someone blew up a bridge.
Right? They didn't blow up
Just
the bridge.
because there were thousands of innocent souls on there when I burned it to ashes. Just
They weren't really.
never let me
innocent.
live that down.
They were.
Yeah, they were
innocent.
That then
Soldiers.
died slow, agonizing deaths that you could probably hear their screams for a couple
Just-
hours.
Yeah.
Just a whole field of B9 burn wounds.
Not enough to actually.
That no one could heal, so they rolled up to mortal wounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just took a while. Okay. So yeah. I know. I was like, don't write beliefs, which was kind of a mistake because I didn't actually expect like all of these scenes to go the entire session, but that's fine.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say Persona for putting Yezi in power for Aldwin. That sounds fair to me. The rest of your beliefs were pretty much handled, right? Like
Yeah, they were handled last
Last
session.
session.
I
Yeah.
really didn't have any.
Mr. Glover, did you have any beliefs that were
Path of virtue, putting my dark past behind me by following the path of virtue and protecting the kids.
yeah?
Definitely did a lot of that.
That belief is already a fate mine. It doesn't sound like you're abandoning it
Nothing completed.
for something
Nothing
else.
completed. Yeah.
Uh,
And that also goes with my instinct: never allow a child to come to harm. So
right. Cool. So 2 fate there, one for that, one for the instinct.
Charles Manson died?
Did he?
yeah,
Yeah, but that tweet. Did you see
tweet's
that?
pretty funny. It's pretty good.
I have not looked yet. I'll look
It's a.
shortly.
Okay, fine.
Is it? Okay.
Good.
God damn it.
I could just read it to
Oh,
you.
Jesus. Okay, that's a pretty good tweet. Okay, Fiona.
Hello.
Hello.
I had Yezi the children and I must get out of town safely. This is from last time.
Right.
Time is of the essence. I must lay Yezi's son to rest.
I think- I think
I
that's the
tried.
I think that's the important one here. I will
Yeah.
I will give you the persona for that. Cuz you did everything that you possibly could to accomplish that.
I really tried.
It just didn't work out, and sometimes that's how it goes.
And I have my last one was I will save the ancestors' barrows by gathering the other voices to help move the barrows to our lands. But
Yeah, but now all the lands are yours.
yeah, so they can kind of stay or be restored or whatever.
Yeah.
So that might have to go away now. Too.
Yeah, and that's fine. That's kind of the stuff that I was after, like clearing out all of the belief chaff at this point, the non-relevant stuff. And Yezi.
I didn't have anything really relevant to the changes that happened this session. Like we handled them with Giselle last time.
Yeah.
We never went to camp. And then there was no bowing and scraping with Dominus to get back in the castle.
No, because he's gone.
You just-
I removed that for you.
Yeah. Let me get that for you.
Yeah. Well, why don't we? Let's see. Why don't you take? I'm just gonna like. I feel so weird. I'm just gonna start arbitrarily handing stuff out. I'd say
Crane's gonna divorce you.
he is. He's gonna be like, you can't play my goddamn game anymore. Why don't you take a fate for that last last one. Kind of because it would have been, you would have done it had it been relevant, but it's
Yeah.
not.
Well, I'm back in the castle. And that's
You
cool.
are back in the castle. Back in the castle again.
Oh, sick Aerosmith reference.
Right? Right?
Sick Aerosmith reference, bro. I'm just gonna get that tattooed on me. So, like my childhood all over again.
Right. Cool. Humor? Does anybody get the humor award this time around? No.
In game.
No.
It wasn't very funny.
Was not funny. Right skill,
I
right
liked it when you said balls at the beginning.
balls. It's always funny when
That's
you say
not
balls.
funny.
It's
Yeah.
It's pretty funny. Right skill, right time. Any? What do we have? Persuasion, sorcery.
I
etiquette?
only orated once.
I had the opposite of that.
I was gonna say.
right.
He had
Ritual.
forage, but now doesn't have it.
I had some bitchin' foraging, but I swapped that out.
All right. Does anybody want to nominate anyone for embodiment? Embodiment.
Embodiment.
That's right.
Fiona?
Okay.
Going out of her way to put Yezzy's son to rest, and I mean, she failed, but she tried. And then the whole wolf
The wolf thing.
thing.
Werewolf. There, wolves.
There it was.
That's right. Yeah, I'll go for that. Persona for Fiona. Anyone else?
Kristen for mom and everybody.
For mom and everybody. The,
Mom and everybody the whole way through.
the constant momming.
Yes. Like my kids, I will kill you.
Well, they're calling for not breaking anyone's fingers this time around.
You can't.
Actually,
You can't give him
caring about the
something-
children, turning a situation and when that could be misconstrued into him actually giving aid to children.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's all just have a persona.
Let's yeah. Everybody just check. the
Except not
persona.
everyone can get embodiment. I don't think.
What?
Yeah. No, everybody. It's. I think it's.
I guess we're breaking all of Crane's rules anyways. Let's go crazy.
That's right. That's right.
You can't stop us, Luke Crane.
Well, in
Rebels.
that light, since this was really like tying stuff up, I feel like we should maybe just skip Workhorse and MVP because there wasn't like
Yeah, no,
there
I
wasn't
agree.
major conflicts that needed to be overcome.
I thought I was a workhorse to bringing peace to all the people in the community.
You played Duck Duck Goose with some kids. Don't
Yeah,
feel like
seriously,
you saved
man.
fucking
You're
Yeah.
a glorified
Yeah.
babysitter. I don't think you need to.
You're
not changing hearts and minds.
I mean, there are some days when you need deeds points for dealing with children, but this session was not. One of
Okay, I'll take a Deeds point then.
No.
Cool, done.
No, you guys all got deeds points last session.
There are some days that this is not
This
one
is
of those
not that
days.
day. Cool. So I feel like
Embodiment, fate, or persona.
persona. I think that we definitely need to do next session should be trait vote
I agree. It is the perfect time for it.
and resources. Why, thank you.
Trying to get you all to that fucking point. 3 sessions ago, y'all were looking up traits in the middle of bullshit happening.
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do probably. Do we need to do resources? I don't know. We'll figure that out when we get there.
I have to train an army.
You do have to train an army.
On one day.
I'm guessing my feast will happen in the downtime.
You can
Depending
have
on how
a
long
feast
a
once-
resource
stop me
cycle
from
is.
throwing that feast now.
You
Yeah.
can have a feast once the food gets here.
Yeah.
Hey, you already agreed. We can't just change things now.
That's right.
Everything changed.
Did we decide how long
Yeah,
a
the Fire
resource
Nation
cycle was?
I can't remember.
We did.
I thought we
I don't
said a
think
season.
we did.
Was it seasonal? Might be seasonal.
Sounds like it should be.
Could be.
What, 3 months?
Cool. Well, we'll figure that out when we get there. Thank you guys once again for playing a silly game like we do.
Are we gonna be here next weekend?
I think I am. Are we going to be here, Nicole?
I don't see why we wouldn't be.
I don't
We're
see
not
why I
going to-
wouldn't be here either.
Okay.
I will be here unless something terrible happens.
Oh, we did.
What?
Stop
Probably
getting
wrong,
bone
Jim.
infections then,
I'll
Shaun.
try. I'll try and stop
Seriously,
getting
man.
bone infections. All
How's
right.
that all doing now, by the
Doing
way?
your bone
All good. All good.
Good.
Yeah. Thank you guys who are watching. We had some viewers. My friend John was in the chat chatting me, which was cool. So it's nice to be doing this for not just my own benefit.
For our own
so-
posterity.
Awesome.
Hi, John. I
Well,
don't know who John is.
good night. I think you've met John. He goes to Big Bad Con, but a lot of people
Sure.
have been at Big Bad Con. I might not have introduced you, which is my fault.
Dick.
But yeah, until next time, we'll see you guys later. Good
Bye.
night.